Hey guys, this is Gooberry, and today we're going to have a look at the continuation of Ace Combat 7 Unknown Skies Mission 2. In Mission 1 we did get a lot of MRPs, which is used for buying better planes and armaments. Armaments are specific to planes, so buying an armament on one previous plane does not mean that you can take it forward towards the next. Okay, having said that, let's just get on with the next mission.
As of 1 p.m. today, the Kingdom of Erusea has declared war on the Osean Federation. As soon as the news broke out, enemy aircraft began bombing Osean territory, causing widespread destruction. The Air Defense Force has released a statement saying this violent attack was carried out by drones. They speculate the drones were secretly transported to Osea in shipping containers and launched remotely. The Secretary of the Navy has stated that the enemy was targeting naval ports across the country. According to the Secretary, all of the nation's aircraft carriers, including one still under construction, sustained severe damage in the attacks. We have yet to hear back from the department as to the fate of Osean carriers currently at sea. Hold on, I've just received breaking news. The International Space Elevator, which is being built in southern Usea, has been seized by the Erusian army. Reports say former President Harling was touring the site at the time, but his current whereabouts are unknown. Our sources in government tell us it was Harling's policies regarding the space elevator that caused economic frictions in the area, and which ultimately led to this war. Located near Erusea, on the continent of Usea, the space elevator has been under construction for some time now. The Executive Office of the Osean Federation has declared a national state of emergency. They have ordered all its armed forces, including Usean peacekeepers, to mobilize and make the necessary preparations to launch an immediate counterattack. Ladies and gentlemen, our country is officially at war. Stay tuned for further updates.
Breaking news from ENN. Osea launched an attack on the capital today, striking Farbanti from their aircraft carrier, the Kestrel II. After a brutal battle, the Erusian Air Force successfully repelled them. During the air raid, the Osean Air Force fired missiles at the city and managed to shoot down a number of Erusian fighters. Some of the disabled planes then crashed into residential areas.
The world was screwed. 20 years ago, the Earth got slammed by an asteroid. Usea was on the wrong side of the planet and got hit. Hard. Refugees swarmed the Erusian Republic, the biggest country on the continent, plunging it into chaos. They were desperate and started a war, one they had no hope of winning. That's the war my dad fought and died in. The biggest nations from two continents went head-to-head, and the so-called righteous Oseans struck the deal that ended it. They fancied themselves the only nation that could bring peace and stability to the world. They even tried saving the Useans, still suffering from the disaster. That's how a space elevator, stretching way up into the sky, ended up being built in Usea, paid for by the Oseans. President Harling said he did it out of compassion for his fellow humans. But to the folks in Erusea, it looked like Osea was moving in to take over. Erusea went from being a republic back to being a kingdom. When they started this new war, they managed to get the drop on everyone.
As of 1 p.m. today,
The second the declaration hit the news, Erusian forces took control of the space elevator without spilling a single drop of blood. President Harling was touring the elevator when it happened and disappeared. Then, while that was going on, the Erusian ships that were docked all around Osea released a swarm of drone fighters they had hidden on board in containers. No one thought they were capable of doing what they did that day. With pinpoint accuracy, they managed to take out everything that was military, and not a single civilian was hurt in the process. Osea pissed lots of people off with their huge military presence around the world. Erusea didn't have the same reach, but they could hit their targets faster and cleaner. And when all this was going down, I just so happened to be in my flying drag racer. in case you were wondering. Yeah, I survived. I crashed in a bombed-out Ocean Air Force base, then got arrested for breaking wartime aviation laws or some crap. The world went from being at peace to being at war, all in the blink of an eye.
I'm Princess Rosa Cassette Delete of the Kingdom of Erusea. Today, Ocean airstrikes have shattered the lives of countless Erusians. Their attacks practically leveled the school I went to. It is heartbreaking.
I was tried, found guilty, and stuffed into a cargo ship. For company, I had some court-martialed soldiers. And remember those mothballed planes I told you about before? They were loaded on the ship, too. We headed off down south for several days, and then swung east. That's how I got here. I was thousands of kilometers from Erusea, on the opposite side of the Eusian continent. For a port, it was dull as hell. It had 3 rusty patrol boats, and the base? The fences were topped with razor wire, the tower had a searchlight and machine guns, and a truck with a gun turret was parked in front of the gate. Its gun was aimed at the yard. This was a prison. This place looked like a full-on base, but half the tanker trucks were just big balloons, and the runways weren't even paved, just painted on the dirt. The whole place was just one big fat lie. The only reason I was here is because they knew I'd restored a supersonic plane. They wanted me to make something out of the mothballed planes they brought, that they could park on the fake runway. Can you believe that shit? So, I tried to escape. They found out, and set the dogs on me.
Erusea has made a declaration to the Ocean Federation and all countries on the Eusian continent stationing the IUN peacekeeping force that we are now at war. Right after the declaration was made, surprise attacks began around the continent that have inflicted major damage to our armed forces. Forces aligned with Erusea are currently appearing throughout Eusia. The combination of these forces has overwhelmed the majority of the continent, and they are now encroaching on us in the east. Additionally, the multinational space elevator has been seized by the Erusian military. After the previous war, the space elevator became both a symbol of peace and a valuable asset in the fight against growing energy concerns. Whoever has control of it will have enormous influence over the entire continent. We cannot turn a blind eye to this critical situation. The Fort Gray's Air Base Squadron has been entered into the order of battle to reclaim the elevator as an advance element. First, you will attack all hostiles coming in the east of Schofield Plateau to stop any interference with the Allied ground troops. The enemy has deployed several vehicles equipped with anti-air radar along the roads. You are to destroy them. They should not pose much of a threat. However, there is a high likelihood that the attack will draw more enemy air support. If that happens, fight them off swiftly and establish air superiority.
The originality with the names Erusea, Erusea, and Osea. By the way, where's Asia, huh? Anyway. Knocker Brownie. Okay. So, I guess this mission is more about destroying these ground targets and the possibility of incoming enemy reinforcements aircraft. So this is where we get to see the aircraft tree. So let's have a look into it. So as I told you before, the ADF-01, the ADF-X-01 and the ADF-11F are the DLC planes, and as you can see, they have 3 armaments specific to each of them. We'll look into this later when we actually use these aircraft. But as you can see, there's no progression tree to them. They just individually acquired aircraft. This is the aircraft that we've been using, the F-16C, and the GPB here I have already purchased it. Further on, you can see we have a few lines of aircraft that we can go for. One is the, so I'm not sure what this will be unlocked when we rank. Okay, Airman First Class. Okay, that sounds cool. Alright, so this is the MiG series. It'll proceed forward to the Sukhois, the Su-27, and yes, as you can see, whoa, okay, this is getting confusing. Let me just zoom out. Yeah, so as you can see, you can the MiG proceeds towards the Sukhoi and the MiG the 316, and then that further moves on towards later Sukhoi versions. Finally, ending at the Sukhoi 57, which is the most advanced aircraft of its kind for the game, that is. Anyway, so I was planning on getting this MiGs, but then I thought of whether we should, instead of doing that, go for the American line of aircraft, which includes the F-15, that's it, and ending with the Raptor. Yes, F-22A Raptor. So I thought maybe we have a go at that. So we have the Hornet series, starting from the F-14D, moving on to the Hornet, and then going to the super cool F-35C Lightning. And if you noticed here in the description, it says a multi-role aircraft with stealth capability. So there are different types of aircraft. The fighter aircraft, which is good at the Strikers, which is really good at air-to-air combat. The multi-role aircraft, which does both air-to-air and air-to-ground, but it's not a specialist in either of them. And then finally we have the let me see if I can find any of these. And then we have the attacker type aircraft, which is more specific towards air-to-ground. As you can see over here in the specifications, it is really good in air-to-ground, but its movement and stability is lower than the fighters. So one more thing to notice here is mobility is how good it is at turning. Stability, I'm not so sure. Defense is the durability of the aircraft, and speed, yeah, it's a giveaway. So okay, let me see if I can purchase some of these. So my current MRP is 141,260, and this one is 105,000. Okay, yeah, I think I can get one of those. And what is this? High speed that makes us slow with your targets. Make some idea of us. Unguided anti-surface rockets attached to the control that can be continuously their idea for neutralization fire. Neutralization fire. Oh. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Burst fire rockets for ground targets. Okay, fine. Oh. How many do I get of this? Okay, this one I get 14 long range air to surface missiles. I think I want the high speed to make wind speed or slower deterrents. Oh man. Okay, so the 4 AM air-to-air missiles was a really good addition for this plane. Unfortunately, the F2A does not have any of that, but fine. Let's choose this, and then Review. Show me the front. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And if you haven't noticed, there are some yellow sections here in the aircraft tree as well. These are the upgrades that you can purchase for each aircraft. So let's not waste too much time here. Let me go with high-speed air-to-air missiles. Let's just see how well it's any good. And then enhances aircraft deceleration. Okay, so this so the brake plus increases the aircraft speed and mobility a bit. So let's have this unlocked. Cool. Do we have any more? We don't. Fine. Alright. So with that, I think we don't have any more MRP to buy the next upgrade. So let me start the mission. Oh goody. This is the next aircraft that we bought. Okay. Look at the difference. Oh, that's... Plus the fact that this has more defense really will help me a lot. And this is what we wanted, the high-speed air-to-air missiles. Homing range. Damage range. Oh. Okay. Anyway, let's just use this. And we'll select parts. We have the light blisk part that we got from the first mission, and then we have cutting edge air brakes. I think including the two of these should make the aircraft much more better. Alright, we are also it specifically mentions that you're allowed to place a maximum of 8 parts, as shown by boxes there. Charge thing. Destroy the enemy ground facilities.
Current target is on rails, but there's still military vehicles and anti-air weaponry. Destroy the target, but HQ has made it clear that no harm should come to civilians and no damage is to be done to public facilities.
But any aircraft shot down could land in civilian territory.
No point arguing. That's how war is these days.
Do you have visual on the anti-air radar vehicles? They should be close.
Yep.
There it goes.
Stage 2, target destroyed.
Intercept! Fire the AA! Clear our vehicle out of there!
So the aiming is a bit wonky. Unless you're looking directly at it, it doesn't. Oh boy, I'm getting targeted. Good thing. Oh god. Okay.
Stage 2,
Anti-air radar vehicle's been destroyed! We're going for the radar car! We're using the containers now. Those weapons are meant for tactical flexibility. They got their anti-air guns aimed right at us.
Man, I'm just firing at them.
We can't wait any longer. We need interceptors now. Shit, where are the damn interceptors?
I'm just making mincemeat
target
out of
destroyed.
everything.
3 to go. Continue to engage at your discretion.
See, like I told you, even if a target is really far away, it would rather target that than the closest target.
Pay attention to who's on what
And I'm
side.
not sure how to
The
change
newest
this in the
IFF is
settings.
connected to our entire force via satellite. It's reliable, so trust your radars. Call them
2 targets remaining.
after every target. Radar was just about to go online. Push your plan forward too fast. The base was too far from Allied territory.
Okay. We have incoming limited players that I can drop. Hopefully. Where am I? This is disorienting.
Just worry about staying alive for now.
Gotta get out of the clouds. My God, I just now realized, look at the number of aircraft that are behind us. Oh, these are not aircraft. Now I understand why.
Taking cover in the clouds. Trigger, there's one more to go. I'm glued to this one.
Fox 2. That was the last radar vehicle. Great work.
Okay,
Radar vehicle's destroyed, but the interceptor shows no sign of retreating. Take it out.
trying to destroy this.
Continue with the mission. Crush as many as you
Keep
can.
forgetting to increase my acceleration.
Locked.
Okay, look at this.
Outstanding. Bandit is down. Locked. It's chow time. No, they're not linked to the radar vehicle.
Oh, okay, so I got it. Okay, that's okay.
Write your manuals in a language we can understand. We've got the attack.
Missile evaded. 5 targets remaining.
Golem 1, Fox 2. Missile fired. Evading.
Page 2, you've iced up.
Behind target and ready to attack.
Four targets remaining.
Okay. Let's target whatever this is.
H2, they have a lock on you.
Whoa. Okay.
Lockdown hostile.
Enemy transports are taxiing.
Man, I can't believe. Oh, I barely used. I never even used one of those HVACs.
This base has been destroyed.
Okay.
3 targets remaining.
Not destroyed. Damn it. I want to go back. Oh, so it says at the bottom right, damage 41%. Okay, that was quite setback. Hopefully these are not set. These don't consist of submissions. If they do, I might just be in for trouble. Okay, what is this? It's an aircraft. Oh, it's a large aircraft.
Page 2, missile launch.
I'm iced up. The enemy aircraft away from the base.
sorry to anyone who gets nauseous easily. Going to be a lot of twists and turns in this game.
Page 2, 1. Targeting range of guns.
Whenever you're ready. Stand clear 15 meters. UAVs ready to launch.
One last. Okay. Ooh, drones.
What happened? Status report.
Multiple bogeys on radar. They're close.
Okay.
Wait, they're being
I guess I'll
launched.
use the HVAs against these guys.
You're
See
clear to
whether
engage. They're probably
see how
hostile.
it works.
Judging by the way they look and
Jeez.
move, they've got to be drones. Spotted clowns, no doubt about it for dealing with UAVs. But that doesn't change a thing. Just think of them as somewhat clever decoys. Take them all down. These drones have great agility. All aircraft. You know what high G turns are, right? Use
Yeah.
them.
Okay, so all I have to do
HQ,
is
this is
wait for.
Column 1. Bandits confirmed as UAVs. Repeat, bandits are drones.
Column 1, that doesn't matter. Destroy all enemy fighters and get out.
It doesn't matter. He's saying
Okay,
the
its
war could
tracking
change in an
ability is
instant,
not
you know?
that good.
Yeah, I just wish they'd give us a bit more warning. Enemy UAV confirmed destroyed. Hell yeah. Golem Squadron, you're not gonna let Mage get all the glory, are ya?
3 enemies to
Don't
go.
try to read
Almost
their
got it.
movements.
Okay, that's it.
I'm in
These
his
are really
blind
good.
spot. He's mine.
That's it. Going back to. Oh. Wily little bird.
Fox 2.
Feels like I'm riding a roller coaster up here. Fox 2.
We're complete 360.
Watch out. The enemy has a lock on you.
Standing line. Where's the ship?
I'm buying dinner for anyone who takes down an enemy.
Here's another I want to try.
You're doing good. Just 2 more. Golem Squadron, surround him.
Close up. Okay, simple issue to that.
In gun range.
On his tail.
Yes.
Show up on the radar.
1 to go. Let's get through this without any casualties.
Okay, so the one good thing is that the durability is quite low.
They have a lock on you. Shake them.
Lock broken by the clouds.
Clouds. Yep, so clouds do reduce the tracking ability of
On target 6.
aircraft as well as locking on the
Fox
abilities.
2. Fox 2.
Shish.
Where'd he go?
Okay,
Careful
so
of ice
he's
formation
doing
in the
this on
clouds.
purpose. Maybe I should. Perhaps I should go above the clouds. Try targeting him.
Missed.
Go. Yes.
Nice kill, Trigger. Enemy aircraft confirmed down.
The skies are clear. Nice work, everyone. Mission complete.
That took a
RTB.
lot of missiles.
No casualties. We couldn't have done any better. Returning to base.
That was
I don't
fun.
know. Maybe the bandits we took down caused civilian casualties.
No point arguing. That's how war is these days. You shoot, someone gets killed. The guys in charge take care of the rest.
Current target is on rails, but there's still military vehicles and anti-air weaponry.
You've given us air superiority by destroying their radar. The first barrier keeping us from reaching. Now is the time to group up and begin the counteroffensive. Let us reclaim what is ours.
Alright guys, I believe that's it for this episode. We'll see the next mission in the next episode. So until then, see you guys. Bye bye.